It's hard to put it all in words, but this is how we ride. This is how we do.
Guys to say that. We need more of those guys to get a little bit more vocal. You know, honestly, NASCAR's best marketing move would be to tell the public that we don't have the best racers. Some of these guys down the street are the best. You know, they underestimate the harvesting effect. Back when they were a big damn deal, you know, there's NASCAR Southwest Region Tour races from the early 90s. I believe it was the Ron Hornaday race, where there's like 40,000 people in the grandstands to basically watch a K&N West race of today. You know, and there's all these people. Here's what I mean by this harvesting effect is local racing, when it was a big deal and drivers were respected and there wasn't all these different perceptions. Like, you remember a day when people looked at a World of Outlaw driver and a NASCAR driver as almost same level as far as talent. Like, this was a societal viewing because they viewed it on their national television networks as the same. What I mean by that 100. Is when you had local racing at these tracks being viewed that way, you had a lot of people within those cities and communities going to weekly racings every week because they viewed it as a bunch of Batmans, a bunch of real badasses. We're in America. We don't like watching Robins. We like watching number one, number two, you know. So back then when everybody locally was viewed as a number one, those local racing scenes were building fans. They were growing fans every single week. And when NASCAR came to town once, or World of Outlaws, or any major city, IndyCar, they were coming to towns and areas full of race fans, and they would harvest the work that the farmers, you know, grassroots a horrible term. It's not grassroots and we're the house. We're the farmers, and we grow the crops of these race fans. And when you come to town twice a year or 3 times a year, you are able to harvest the fans that we have created throughout the years and over these years. And ever since that weekly respect went away, ever since people don't look at your local racer as a badass superstar, and they look at your local racer as some bum who wasn't good enough in the highest score of colleges, because NASCAR's taught you, if you're not 18 in a truck and 20 in cup, you suck. You failed in high school. You ain't good enough. That has destroyed not only our respect, but their fan bases. The farmers of the racing world are not able to grow any crops because the farmers have no respect anymore.
There's 3 things that I want to end with to rebuttal to that, right? Like, and you'll laugh, but number 1, Dale Earnhardt, right? Who's more grassroots than anybody is Dale Earnhardt, right? That's how he raced every week, right? Then you have, and you know, he passed away, and that's when things started to change, right? I mean, I'm not 2001, that was I wasn't an Earnhardt fan, period. I'll tell you, but I will respect that guy for what he did for racing, right? You go out there, that guy, you look at the history, what he did, he tried to grow motorsports. He tried to better himself for the ultimate, which was the Winston Cup for him, right? Number 2, Earl Soltesz, he said, you know what? I see this Eldora Speedway. He kept building and building and building and adding, just like the guy that had Devil's Bowl where you worked. Like, I get that. When you said that, like, he goes, with the grandstand, he goes, I didn't want to build that. I needed to, right?
Because they had the respect. People were wanting to come. You know, Steve Kinzer won 50,000 in 1984 when Dale Earnhardt Sr. won 47 at Talladega.
Right. You know, I mean, and that's when it comes to, and then the third aspect is Knoxville. They've continually trying to grow. You and I can argue about the purse. We can argue about the sprint car racing. I'm a sprint car guy. I love dirt late models. I love street stocks. I love modifieds. But my heart is with the sprint cars. I am so excited for those guys to get that opportunity. Did they earn that opportunity? You know, that can be debated, right? It's a whole different world with sprint cars. I understand that, but Knoxville has kept that viable.
It is interesting that you bring up Dale Earnhardt, because that little harvesting farmer effect that I just talked about, you know, when those local guys used to have that professional kind of outlook by society, there was a lot of professional money that wanted to see Dale Earnhardt go up against these NASCAR fuckers that came in twice a year. And they helped put him in to that Grand National. I'm sure, I don't know this for facts, but I've seen this happen across. Tom Lorenz was a driver in Texas who got a shot at Texas Speed World because of, in my opinion, this fact that when these drivers back then were looked professionally and gained the societal respect, there's a lot of sponsorship money out there. There's a lot of small businesses and even regional businesses that are out there that don't know what a dirt track is anymore. But back then in that society, they knew it like it was normal news, like it was just regular world. It was a part of society. We're not in society anymore. We're in the dark. When we were in the light and in societal aspects, that's when you got those local guys getting shots like Dale Earnhardt Sr. and others, sponsors and people who wanted to see their David go up against the Goliaths of NASCAR and the World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series. You had local guys get support to go against those dudes. We had one in Texas called Gary Wright. You know, we had a Bob Ewell, another guy that was very prominent down there. You still have that effect in Pennsylvania. You don't have it much anywhere else, but that kind of scenario not only provided tons of fans for National Series, but it also provided the opportunity to have a little local guy go up against this big national tour, and that would bring the local fans to come see what their guy could do. It was Rocky Balboa versus Apollo Creed.
This is how we ride. This is how we do.